Доброго времени суток, дорогие зрители моего канала. Меня зовут Веритас, и внезапно, пока я ждал, когда Ролата свяжется со мной, мне снова снится какой-то сон.
Dawn is coming. Seek the first seer.
Так, где он? Ну, побежали к Тараэлю.
My sir.
Well, must be exhausting to watch us working our asses off, sunchild.
Rialta Shara.
Ralata Shara, sleeper.
Стоп. А где, собственно, сам... Нет, сначала давайте пойдем поищем
We're watching you sleep.
Тараэля.
Something you want to tell me?
Он, скорее всего, в своем убежище сидит. Помнить бы еще, где оно. Ну, по-моему, не на арене.
My sir.
My
В пыльной яме, что ли? А, стоп, нет. Кстати, ты. Деньги на бочку.
What a surprise. Didn't think I'd ever see you again. I don't want to know. If the Rolata asks, you don't ask questions. That's the first rule you should hammer into your head down here. In other words, it's fine. The crowd was a bit disappointed, but technically, you won. Though, as I'm sure you understand, I can't pay you this time. How about never? Why? Because no pit fighter, no matter how powdered and glimmer-capped dust he is, will voluntarily fight a friend of the Rolata. If he loses, he dies. If he wins, he dies too. Because the Father's voice will come get him. And now come on, don't give me that look. You earned a shitload of money in a very short time. Maybe you can come back in a couple of moons or so, if the dust has settled. But until then, forget about it.
Yeah.
Ralata Sarash, brother.
Would you look at that? A visitor from the circus.
Стоп, опять не туда залез. Давайте попробуем вспомнить, куда мне идти.
You're an adventurer, aren't you?
Может, даже на рынок. Хотя нет, стоп, не на рынок. Рынок я хорошо помню.
My sir.
Thank you, Sunchild. You saved a lot of lives today.
A real pretty thing you are. We should spend some time together.
Mind your own
Нет, тоже не
fucking
оно.
business.
Isn't this nice? A sun child graces us with its presence. Conduct yourself.
Может, главная пещера? Да. Блин, он еще и не тут. А. Ну ладно, давайте пойдем как есть.
Well, must be exhausting to watch us working our asses off, Sunchild.
Rialta Sheriff.
You? I thought my instructions were clear. Wait until you hear from us. A dream? That? Oh, I understand. Then go see Brother Sorrow at once and tell him the same thing. He will lead you to the Father. I'm not in a position to say. Ask the Father. It doesn't matter. Go up to the tower, deeper into the mountain. At the end of the hallway, you'll find stairs ending in a wall. Now go. The Father must not be kept waiting.
Father will take care of Fiesta. I beg you, brother, just 5 minutes.
No, go.
But I am ready. I can feel it.
I
Don't you
understand. You may pass.
If only the Father could see me
This
now,
end.
he'd see it too.
You'll see.
Please,
Ну, пошли в
Brother
стену.
Sorrow. I know that the last step is near. I want to be there when it's done. You'll see. You'll bloody see. All of you.
So you received my message. Good. Come, take a seat. I will be with you in a moment. Well then, good to finally meet you in person. I would introduce myself to you, but you already know who I am. That is correct. The first seer has already told me about you. He said that you and Brother Wrath recovered the lost pages, and also that you are, how should I say, unusual. He did not lie as I see now. You do indeed have something peculiar about you. Tell me, how do you feel about Brother Wrath, Taraэль, as you call him? I see. Be that as it may, the First Seer had nothing but praise for you, and suggested that I consider you for our expedition, and I have, provided that you are still interested. Good to hear. The formalities first. You will receive 250 pennies in advance, and another 250 if the mission turns out to be a success. A generous pay, as you no doubt realize. I assume you know that it will be dangerous. Nonetheless, I would like you to understand the background of this undertaking fully if you are to work with us. Come.
Ну давай.
I present the human body, a simulacrum. It's not. As I said, I want you to understand. Does the name Manit Dalgalang sound familiar to you? The man who left his body. He was one of the former Grand Masters of the Order, a righteous man, but also of a very reclusive nature. It is said that Dalgalang had always been a little peculiar. In the few records that are left of him, he once described how he never felt as though he belonged in this world. Thus, he made freeing himself from this sense of estrangement his purpose in life. Yes, as though life was a bad play that his body was forced to take part in, Dalgalang despised all the other things people enjoyed. He didn't copulate, ate only as much as his body needed, and slept very little. Well, one day he vanished, just like that, in the bright light of day, during one of his meditations at the Eye of the Gods. Even though there were observers, the Order didn't record his vanishing in the chronicles for obvious reasons. According to them, Dalgalang simply disappeared on a pilgrimage. I believe so. He succeeded in freeing his spirit from the vessel of his body, and the strange occurrences that happened after confirm my theory. His mother, for example, insisted that he visited her in spectral form at the death feast, and told her that he was sorry. His servant, who was the closest thing Dalgalang had to a friend, heard his voice when he laid down flowers at his pathstone. Or the keepers, who saw a ghost meditating in his former laboratory at night. All coincidences or phantasms, you may say, but to me, it is clear that Dalgalang achieved his goal. He managed to separate his soul from his body. He achieved transcendence. I suppose you could say that, yes. Dalgalang was among the first humans to realize how misguided we are, and how little of our potential we actually use. When I first heard his story, I instantly recognized myself in him. In particular, his fascination with the idea of overcoming our fleshly nature. I was enthralled, and made this idea the purpose of my life, which finally led me to found the Relata. Frankly, I still find it baffling how few people share this quest. All they care about is the satisfaction of their carnal desires. They are so proud of what separates them from a pig, and yet they achieve little else in their lives. Eat, copulate, die. And all it would take to show them what their minds are capable of would be a glimpse into their dreams. Either way, I digress. Well, are we not freer in our dreams than we could ever be in waking life? we can have our bodies take on every shape there is, and time and space are meaningless. Imagine having this kind of freedom in reality. Exactly, and that's where you come in. As it turns out, the secret to transcendence was hidden in the lost pages of J.L. Tannisson's book, where he describes his initiation ritual in the Room of Paintings. That is correct. But I have had the pleasure of talking to some of them over the centuries, and was able to convince them to divulge their secrets to me. It's not some kind of room. The Room of Paintings is a force of nature, one that has the power to change you in a way that far exceeds the ability of normal magic. Either way, I will spare you the details. What you need to know is that we believe the Room of Paintings to be inside a temple we excavated over the past years. And that is what this expedition is about. You and the other mercenaries will venture into its depths and establish a portal for Myra Lame and me to step through once you found the room, where we will finally sever our minds from our bodies. Correct. It will prevail. Only the Relame who have proven themselves worthy will ascend with me. The rest of them will stay behind with the first seer, who will take over the mask. Then, when the time comes, they will follow us. No. First, because I have reason to believe that the weak-willed among us wouldn't survive the separation. Second, because our teachings are too important to risk them getting lost. Someone needs to continue spreading our faith. What it is or who built it, I can't say. Only that it must have been an ancient civilization, and by ancient, I mean one that existed long before the Pyreans. The Black Libra, the cult the Butcher of Ark belonged to, merely used this place to conduct their rituals of initiation. In the Frostclift Mountains, that's where you will go. They could, but the temple is dangerous. Only if you let them eat you. According to my research, 4 groups need to enter the temple simultaneously through its 4 individual entrances. These groups will be made up of 2 mercenaries and 1 voice each to guide you. Once you've found the temple, your mission will be considered a success, and you will be paid. Any questions? I don't know. Finding that out is part of your mission. As soon as possible, after this conversation has ended, you will make your way to the excavation site and wait for my arrival. Since you've already worked with Brother Wrath, you will form a group with him and another mercenary I will choose myself. Do you have a map? Show me. Good. This is where you'll find the site. I recommend you take a Myred to the Frostcliff Tavern and walk from there. You will.
Ну, погнали.
Relata Shara. You know why we're here. Behave yourself, Sunchild.
penny, my sir. Please, just one penny.
Bloody rats. Eating the last penny right out your...
А потом окажется, что все это время он именно там и сидел. Но переигрывать я уже не буду. Мне бесед с батюшкой хватило. Сколько они длились? В принципе, думаю, время еще есть. К тому же квест еще не закончен.
A sun child. If you came to watch the fight.
Да нет, вот он в сарае засел. А где он был до этого?
What the? You! By the name of the sun, I've been looking for you. What happened? Tell me. I see. Though I still don't understand why the father wanted you personally. That's not like him at all. Either way, now comes the critical part. This expedition is the only chance we're going to get. The fact that he assigned us both to the same group is a good start. Join our cause? We don't. We kill him the first chance we get. The last thing we need is an additional risk. It surely won't be anyone deserving your pity. Almost everyone whom the Relata would hire has earned their death 1,000,000 times over.
Ну,
Just remember
спасибо.
what the First Seer asked of you as a symbol of trust. I suggest you head to the temple as soon as possible. I'll probably arrive with the father. No idea. Let's just prepare for the worst. Until then, I'm counting on you.
Охренеть там уровень опасности. Я чувствую, что я об этом пожалею. Ладно, я могу хотя бы надеть свою броню.
Massa? Yes? Walk blessed, friend. Sure. Where to?
Блин, куда-то мне надо было. К западному утесу. Вроде. Ой. А, таверна Морозный утес.
Sure. Where to?
Это мне вот так. Вот так вот надо топать туда сейчас. Ну, побежали. В принципе, я думаю, я добегу как-нибудь без записи. Че ж ты по мне-то дамажишь? У тебя тут есть враги посерьезнее. Я так просто иногда бью. Слегка. Залутать нельзя, обидно.
No, no, what have I done? What have I done?
You disappoint me, Thera. Anger has always been your biggest weakness. Now look at what you've done.
What? But we...
Do you really think 400 years taught me so little?
Лол.
Are we all here?
Yes, Father.
Good. Relaine, the time has come. Liberation awaits us.
And you are certain you want to let them live?
Existence is punishment enough.
Ох.
They are gone. Gone. It was there when the father opened the gate. I saw it. I don't know. All for nothing. All for nothing. How should I know? Maybe they did. Or maybe the temple devoured them. We'll never know. How do I feel? Let me think. The father achieved his goal. I learned that I'm one of his creations. A deceased soul in a body made from artificial flesh. And I killed my brother, who I thought was dead. Letho. I killed Letho. I know. the children. He didn't give a damn about them. If there hadn't been ones who were dying, he would have just abducted healthy ones. And even as it is, nobody has the right to do what he did. Just look at Etho. The only person I ever loved. He turned him into a living piece of meat. Into a puppet. Sometimes it's better to die than to live. I don't know. Maybe. But I know that he was right about me. All of this. My crusade against him. It wasn't about the children. It wasn't about justice. It was about having something to fill that deep black hole within me. To feed that nothingness. And that doesn't justify what I've done.
Капец, мудила.
Repentance. Ironic to hear that from you of all people. You didn't think Carlian deserved a second chance, did you? So why should I? You know, you were right. There is a line beyond which there is no absolution. I crossed it years ago. I did, and I'll keep my word. Here. There's an old chest in my hideout. Everything of worth that I own is in there. You can have it. I'm sorry for everything. Forgive me.
Да ладно, не так уж тут. А, я не могу спрыгнуть туда. Ну, я бы, скорее всего, пережил такое падение. Ну, хз. Где здесь есть какой-нибудь выход? Капец, мы конкретно обосрались, если честно. Но я думаю, теперь я могу свалить отсюда. Я не знаю, я чувствую некоторую пустоту после этого DLC. Фух. Да, мне надо немножко отдохнуть. Давайте посмотрим, что он там оставил.
My sir.
Интересно, был ли другой вариант концовки, если бы я лучше с ним развил отношения? А, стоп, зачем? Так или иначе можно будет в итоге продолжить. Сюжетную линию. Шкатулка в укрытии. Хм. А. Сундук. Телепортация вдюнная. Вовремя! Ну а на этом, я думаю, мы можем заканчивать. Если вы здесь впервые, вы можете подписаться на канал, поставить лайк, нажать на колокольчик. А меня зовут Веритас, всем до новых встреч, всем пока-пока-пока-пока.